Before you go, there's one more thing that we want to say, and that is, we've been talking about how the contrast that you live causes you to send off these rockets of desire, and that what you've been thinking about, start again, everything that will manifest is a vibrational reality first, wanted and unwanted. So as a society, as a mass consciousness, as history, ancestors, what they taught you in school, in other words, you have created quite a few vibrational realities that if in your now you've got open pipes to, it's manifesting. Ooh, did you hear that? Wanted and unwanted things. It's always vibrational first, you see. So what you want to do as deliberate creators is you want to accept today you're new at the fair, and that you can pick a mood that will yield you the results from this environment in which you stand. How's that? Just start asking the environment in which you stand to show you the results that represent the vibrational frequency that you're offering, and then just pay attention to what happens in the grocery store, or pay attention even to the clarity of your own mind when you're alone, or pay attention to who gathers around you in traffic, and on and on and on. Just start noticing what's gathering around you, and then begin saying, it gathered in perfect vibrational replication of my mood. It gathered in perfect vibrational replication of the disc that I'm on. And then start saying, and I can choose the disc I'm on. I have more control of that disc. Because that's the only thing you got to do. We make this so complicated. You create your own reality. Step 1, step 2, step 3, upstream, downstream, vortex, grid. In other words, all of these words in trying to get you to understand how you create your own reality. And today we would just like you to leave here understanding that it's so much simpler than any of us have been making it out to be. Pick something that feels good, fixate on it until you've practiced the thought, and then notice the good stuff that comes in response. And getting back to the very first thing that you ask, it's such a really wonderful consideration. How much history, how much past is going to tie in to what I allow now? And we say your vortices are full of all of the components that you've been putting there over a long period of time. But your point of attraction is what you've got control over right now, you see. Do you get the step 1, step 2, step 3 understanding? When you first got here, you were born on the high-flying disc. You were. And then the others around you who cared about you, who had lived enough life and been banged around enough to know that there were things that they didn't like, began trying to protect you from living those things that you didn't like. And so it wasn't too long before you were not always or even predominantly on your high-flying disc. And then a really good phase of your life began, because you began sifting through contrast, identifying who you are and what you want. When someone was rude, you want them to be nice. When you were rude, you wanted to be nice. When you were insecure, you wanted to be secure. If you didn't have enough money, you wanted more money. In other words, the contrast just caused you to build this vortex of who you really are, and the larger part of you became it. So that was a phase of your life that we will call, let's just call it the step 1 phase. And you never really completely get out of the step 1 phase, but there was a time of your life that you were predominantly on the high-flying disc. That didn't last very long, and you knew it wouldn't, because you came wanting to contribute by understanding what you most want. So you said you knew that you would step into a predominant step 1 phase of your life experience, and you did. And we always stand in the step 2 phase, because we're always a vibrational equivalent to your furthest most expansion. But now it's time for you to be in the step 3 phase of your experience, predominantly. Occasionally step 1, yeah, for clarification, for sure. But it's time for you to stop justifying and defending and explaining. And Esther would say to Jerry every now and again, I want to know what you think about this. And he would say, with that silly grin, I don't think you want to know what I think. I think you want me to agree with you. And so we want you, when you realize that you're on the ornery disc, or on the overwhelmed disc, or on the I can't believe anybody would do that disc, and now you're trying to get someone else to understand how you feel while you're there, We want you to stop and realize that they'll join you because you've got momentum going, but that's really not where you want to get people to meet you in agreement. You want to get on that high-flying disc and meet up there. That's where your meetup groups are, on that high-flying disc. That's where all your affirming comes from, your high-flying disc, you see. Enough?
I'm being careful. I think